Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. And this is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, Capricorn. And so tonight we have the Fool card. All right. I love this energy. I know it isn't always the most pleasant, right? And it's hard to get to that full archetype consciousness. I was talking to my husband. Shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My husband, Paul, over there, reads tarot. He's amazing. Go check him out. You can find links to him in the channel if you go to my channel page. But we were talking about the Fool energy, and I really, as we were going back and forth and discussing, I really came to the conclusion that it is not easy to be the Fool, especially if you have dwelled in other archetypes first, right? Relinquishing your ties to society and behaviors and, just like socially acceptable ways of living and behaving and so on. And to decide or to come into a state of mind that allows you to be freed of that is not a simple task. Not at all. I feel like if so, we would all be running around in this Fool energy. Of course, we all have it within us. Of course. But to be the pure Fool, I don't know. So let's go ahead. And we're going to take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. Oh my goodness. It's already been such a day over here. And I won't bore you, but Mondays. I'm filming on a Monday, so that Monday energy. So anyways, welcome. I love that you decided to click on this reading. It blows my mind that I am able to do these readings, but that people actually come and watch them and sometimes they take something from them, right? That really, it's one of the great honors of my life, truly. So we have the number 22, but we also have, it looks like two peacocks next to each other. And I was going to say it might be turkeys, but I think they're peacocks because of how long the feathers are here. So I feel like we come from, or there is, a grouping of people, and it may be within the family, that are maybe a little bit more ostentatious than you would maybe choose to be. Maybe they're a little more showy. Maybe they're, almost kind of a little tacky because it is just so kind of like overboard, right? And I feel like this is maybe an older person in the family and maybe like their child. That's why it looks like two people, two of them together. And so like maybe this is like your mom and like your sister or something like that, or maybe it's like your cousin and auntie or uncle or whatever. So it seems to me that this relation has been strained for you a little bit. I think you're just very different, the way that you experience life, your priorities, and so on. So I feel like it has at times kind of been troubled. And I feel like, you know, there is a feeling of maybe not fitting in ultimately. But I do see we have the dragon. That's right in the middle there. And we're in the year of the dragon, but I think that, and only for one more day, right? It's going to be the year of the serpent here in a second. But I do feel like for you, this has been a period of time where that dragon has come out of you. And I'm guessing that there was some kind of drama. I'm guessing that maybe it was during the holiday season and you're really coming to this point where you're just not, you just don't want to talk to anybody anymore, right? Like you just don't want to see them for a while. Maybe never. I feel like it's not even like a sad thing so much as you've just been through it. Like all of us have been through it in the last like 5 years or so. And you're just like, okay, I don't want to have to continually be in this weird, awkward battle with people who I'm related to, right? People who are supposed to be my family or friends group or chosen family. But I think this is probably within the family. And I feel you, and I see the guardian angel right there. Right there. I feel you really having taken time, meditating on this, praying on it, trying to figure out what is the best way forward. And I see the boat, and I see you getting on that boat and sailing out into the new world, right? Out into a new way of living. And maybe, you know, with some barriers, some boundaries, maybe even having to put up the wall for a while, becoming low contact or no contact. Maybe this is the little bit of a reprieve that you really need to kind of begin, you know, not only the like healing process, but really taking inventory of what is real and what is not real. Because I feel like the energy from these people in particular, it's almost like their whole world is like built off of gaslighting. Usually I would say that's the magician right there. That is a world builder. That's somebody who can create a whole atmosphere. Like we've all met people, well, anyways, I have. You step into their life with them for even just a couple days and it's like you're living in a whole different reality. They have completely different things going on than you do. And, you know, they're doing stuff that like just absolutely you had no idea was going on around you. They live in a different world than you. And, you know, I feel like it is. It's like it is a breakthrough. It is a big step for you to really be like, listen. Maybe you don't even say anything to them, but to yourself, listen. We can't live like this anymore. You know, this is not okay. This isn't normal. This is not how I should be treated by people in my life who, you know, they just take everything over. Everything they're doing, it causes turmoil for people around them. They cause more work for people around them. Everything that happens is so important, so dire, and it's all about them. And you're tired of it. It's like you can't fill that up. There's a hole in the bottom. You know? It'll never be enough. If you get one thing figured out and get them squared away, help them out, there's another problem already. They already are falling apart and need help and this and that and the world is against me and, you know, whatever. And it's like there is a clear pattern here and I cannot be involved in it anymore. And I feel like that's where you're at. You are taking your little boat, you're getting on that thing and you are headed on out. And I don't blame you. Now we also have the repeating number 7. So 2s and 7s seem really important today for you. Okay? And also Fs. We have another F right here. Okay, let's see. Now, we have a person here who looks like, I almost feel like they're yelling. But there's a dog right down at by their knee. You can see here are the feet. Here's the body. Here's the head. And the head looks like it's yelling, right? It looks like you can see the little eye right there. And the mouth is open and this stuff's kind of coming out. Okay. And it looks like it's maybe like 6, 7D. That's what it looks like to me. 6, 7D. And then we have the dog down here, okay, with its tail wagging. And it looks like we have another person standing here holding, it looks like a bird, like a dove. Okay, so I feel like I feel like for you, it's as you move away from that other stuff, I feel like you really find ease. And look, it looks like it says easy right here, easy. It looks like you do find ease with a really good friend, right? Somebody who, you know, the dog, they say it's man's best friend. So to me, symbolically, when I see the dog, it is often somebody in our life who we have a profound devotion and loyalty to. So a good friend, maybe it is an actual dog. But I do feel like as you start to purge some of this, and I'm looking at this upside down, it looks like it says CRY. So crying and releasing and yeah, maybe even screaming and you know, doing like primal screaming, or you know, something to let the aggression out, the pain out, the hurt out, the, you know, just letting it all go. Letting it all go. So you can get into that place of peace. And I feel like at times there's maybe even this feeling of like you've abandoned people that you're supposed to show up for, that you should have maybe been stronger and figured it out. And you know, I think we all kind of have these feelings, you know, when we've had, I feel most people have had some kind of falling out with a family member. Some are more, you know, like me, I'm estranged from most of my family, almost all of them. My origin family. I have my chosen family who I've created, and created a different family. I've had, and you know, and then I have all these wonderful people I've met throughout the years who have become that chosen family. And, you know, sometimes we have to walk away from wherever we come from for whatever reason. Right? And sometimes it's not even about the individuals. It's about you need to start over. You need a new life, you know. And so somewhere in there, I don't know if this was like a complete break from everybody, or if this is like you had a falling out like with 1 or 2 people, but it's not easy, right? And we can start to really look at it and think, well, maybe I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that. But really, my thinking is when we're pushed to that point where we know we have to pick up and go off into the great unknown to begin again without the support of the people that we are so used to having around us, that tells you something was wrong. Most people don't just do that. Most people don't just leave. So I feel like this is like a breakthrough for you. This is not easy. You're going to have to do a lot of processing, but you have people around you. You have people around you who care. You have loyal support, you know. And not here we have, if we turn it this way a little bit, it is the person holding the dove, which we know the dove is a sign of peace. But it also looks like, if we look at it like this, it looks like a chicken or a rooster, right? And the rooster is all about kind of something going on in our life that is like an alarm. It's like, hey, you need to look at this. You need to focus on this. Something's happening, right? And it's not necessarily in your best, in your best intention. So, yeah, definitely, I feel like it will be beneficial to you to kind of just at least begin to think about, what am I willing to put up with? What have I already gone through with these people? You know, and you know, look, and there's no judgment, but some people come from families that do not respect them. They don't treat them well. They're downright torturous at times. And the person has such a connection to the idea of family and to that loyalty within family and so on, that they never leave, you know. And yeah, I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to break ties or to, you know, really stand up and say, listen, you can't treat me like this. You know, you don't want to ruffle feathers. And that is all valid. It makes sense to me. Although I have to say, I hate to see people living that way, because we don't have to, you know. I have my fair share of problems in my life. I'm married, and I've been married for some years now, and a few years now, and together for longer than that, obviously. But, you know, even within my pretty wonderful relationship, there, of course, is room for discord at times. You know, there's sometimes little disagreements and arguments and stuff. But other than that, well, I have a 4-year-old daughter who thinks she runs the world, which she does, runs my world. Other than those pretty minor conflicts, right? I don't have people to fight with. I don't have people, you know, coming into my life and exerting their will on how I'm living or who I am or what my family's like or, you know, any of these things. And I think that's because I have created a life and, you know, small social network here that we respect each other, you know, and we're careful with each other, and we should be, right? People that love you, they should be able to tell you if they need to tell you something that's difficult, of course, but it shouldn't be something that is like name calling or, you know, these aggressive moves or snideness or, you know, being back, or what is it called, underhanded, or, you know, any of this stuff. I think we live in a world where we think this kind of stuff is normal because, you know, a lot of people are dealing with it. But I think also for many of us, especially people on a spiritual journey, you come to a point where you start to understand that all takes energy. It draws from your energies, right? Your vital essence. And not only that, your time. If I'm sitting here worried about what somebody is saying about me or what they did or, you know, why were they so rude or, you know, whatever, that's so much time lost. That's so much time lost. I can be outside looking at birds and, you know, baking pumpkin bread. You know, or yesterday I made borscht. You know, there are so many other things that I could be doing that would make me happy, or at least give ease to my life. You know, and so I feel like you're coming to this breakthrough. And really having that little taste of freedom from that kind of nonsense, ooh, it's impossible to go back. Why would you? You know, why would you? So, we have an airplane. I feel like traveling for pleasure. It seems like a very like beautiful water, trees, just lush. That's what it feels like, lush. Even when I'm thinking about it, I feel like I can hear the insects buzzing. Warm. Maybe tropical, but not necessarily. I'm almost thinking it reminds me of something like, you know, down, like in the swamps by the bayou or something like, you know, I don't know, but just real beautiful and lush, green. And I feel like you've been dreaming of going on a trip or a vacation or just getting in the car and driving for like, you know, 5 hours and renting like a little motel room or something and going to the beach in the morning, you know, your little escape. And I feel like this is definitely within that full energy because I feel like it's so out of character for you. Absolutely, Capricorn. I can't imagine a Capricorn person just picking up and being like, I'm going to go, you know, for a little road trip for a few days, you know, just like out of nowhere. Usually we're pretty, and I am a Capricorn ascendant, so usually we're really about the planning. So I do feel like this is part of this overall kind of self-evolution. Treating yourself to a little bit of an adventure. And that's what it really feels like. So maybe it's not that you're leaving town or, you know, you're taking off for a month to Europe or, you know, whatever. But I do feel like you are giving yourself more time to enjoy the things that are around you, wherever you're at, you know. And so maybe as we get out of winter, we are in winter in the northern hemisphere here, going out to like some parks, going swimming, going where there are birds around. And that's why I'm thinking this must be water, because it seems like there's a variety of birds and insects and stuff. So maybe like a lake or you know, something. So yeah, definitely. If that comes up and you have the will and a way and you have the resources to do so, take your little adventure. Definitely. Okay, we're going to do our 3 lucky numbers. 59, 51, 94. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we're going to do our self-care affirmation cards. I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. And it says, crystal clarity. I have focused clarity. The universe provides for my desires with abundance as I become clear as crystal. As I become clear as crystal. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor for me to bring these messages to you. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Please take care of yourself. Wash your hands. I was just reading a little, like a county bulletin thing that came out. I got an email for it saying that the norovirus is really up in the area. And oh my gosh, please everybody wash their hands. If you don't know what that is, that's the stomach one. That's the tummy trouble one, which is not fun. We had it back in, what was it? It was around Thanksgiving. So yeah, not fun, and you can get it again. So I'm like, no way, no way. I'm not touching anything. I'm going to be walking around with like those gloves on, my cleaning gloves, washing my hands, even with the gloves on. You can miss me with norovirus. I just, oh man, I can't handle another round of that. So anyways, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I love you. We'll talk in a few days.